The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised. What's going on, listeners? We are back with another episode of Pyro Power Hour. I'm your boy Kwame, and we have a lot going on today. But today, my brother Kyrie is not able to join us today. He had the day off, but we are joined by the beautiful, the talented queens, Ramona, who is a TikTok influencer, and Kristen Askew of You Better Than Me podcast. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today, so don't forget to share all that and more on the other side of this introduction. See you soon. What's going on? How you guys doing today? I am joined by the beautiful, the gorgeous, the queens themselves, Kristen and Ramona. What's going on, boo?
Hello.
Hey.
Yes. Yes, thanks for joining. I appreciate you guys. I know it was a little last minute, but our brother Kyrie had a lot to do today because, he's booked and busy. But so we're going to thank him and wish him well. Hopefully we'll see him on Friday. But that's it. Shout out to my brother Kyrie. We miss you, boo-boo. We miss you. We hope you out. He probably out there with trade. You know how he is. All right, y'all. We got a lot to talk about today. All right, so let me go ahead and get the business out there. First of all, queens, how are you? How are you guys today?
I am amazing. It's a beautiful day. It's 70-some degrees. I got on shorts. So it's an amazing day.
Come on, 70-some degrees in shorts. How you doing, Kristen?
I'm doing well. I bought a new juicer the other day, so I've been having a fresh juice every day. So I'm just feeling like, living in my little Caucasian world in my Negro house.
All right, come on, Negro house. There is a slight delay, Kristen, so you may want to jump out and jump back in just in case, just FYI. All right, what's going on, Jules? How you doing, Queen? Thanks for joining. Oh, here's Kyrie. He said he out here with his mama.
Hey, mama.
Hey, mama. Hey, Mama Solange, how you doing? We know you out there with Trey, Kyrie. You don't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. Right. Well, Kristen is going ahead and fixing her stuff. She's going to come back in. But go ahead, Kristen, actually jump all the way out and sign back in. All right, cool. All right, so while we're waiting for Kristen to do all that, we got a lot to talk about today. But before we talk about all that stuff, let's get into our sponsors. Because they pay us the bills, Annie. Thank you to Pyro Media Productions for making us look all this good. All the stuff that's going on here, all of the jams, all of this, the sparkly stuff, the shiny things. That's all Pyro Media Productions. You can get your stuff too if you want to show a podcast, social media content creation, anything for your business or brand, or if you just want to get talk about stuff, you can go ahead and go to www.pyromediaproductions for all of your needs. Thank you, Kristen. She's back. Welcome back, Queen. Yeah, there you go. And we want to also thank Bullet in Flight Radio, the #1 progressive Christian radio station in the world. Shout out to our Bullet in Flight Radio listeners right now. If you are listening on Bullet in Flight Radio, thank you so much. Don't forget to check out www.pyromedianetwork.com for all of your entertainment needs. And we want to shout out one of our newest sponsors, the Coldest Water. If sometimes you're a little thirsty, right? I know I like my stuff cold. I need some ice in my stuff. You know what I mean? I don't like my stuff warm. I can't do warm water. So if you are like me and you need some cold water and some cold beverages, you can go ahead and go over to www.thecoldestwater. I think it's thecoldest.com. But I'm going to go ahead and do you guys one everything better. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link right up on in the chat right there, so that way you can go ahead and take advantage of the 10% off all online purchase. They got everything over there. They got blankets, they got mattresses, honey. They got mattresses, child. They got water bottles, all different types of sizes. It's New Year, new me. Get your hydration on, y'all. And if you are, I know Kristen be talking about all of the books that she's been reading, and she one of them smart ones. You know what I'm saying? She's smart, and she's single, y'all. If you out there, you better go ahead and hit her up. You know what I'm saying? Don't miss that one. Anyway, but she's a catch. I'm just saying, she's a catch. But if you are also wanting to go ahead and up your knowledge, go ahead and check out our other sponsor, Audible.com. An Amazon company, y'all. You get a 1 credit, and if you're a Prime member, you get 2 credits for any premium selection titles you like, and it's yours to keep forever. And if you are during the and you get 30 days free of this. 30 days, y'all. And if you are during your 30 days, you can go ahead and check out their Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals, all without credits. You don't have to have credits to check that out. And you'll get a friendly email, because you know how you be trying them trials and they don't tell you anything. You get them trials, and then the last day of the trial you get charged. Well, guess what? Audible lets you know. They'll send you a friendly email to remind you that your trial is about to end. And I love that, because you could always. Well, I'm not going to say that because we might lose our sponsorship. But if you have multiple emails, you could go ahead and just do that. But anyway, I just let you know. But I'm going to go ahead and put the link right all up in here, in the link right there. But if you have a phone, if you're watching it from a TV, or if you're watching this from your computer, you can go ahead and use your phone and use the QR code right there. Okay, praise God. We're going out here and doing all this stuff. And you can always, if you do not have access to, if you're watching this on a replay, you can still utilize these codes that we're putting in the chat there. And you can always go to www.pyromedianetwork.com to check out all of our sponsors and take advantage of all of the things. And this is exclusive to our audience, because our audience is awesome. We got the best audience in the world, Hanny. Shout out to Pyromaniacs, okay? All right, so we got more stuff coming.
So crazy.
We got more stuff coming. So thank you guys so much for sticking with us. And we got more stuff coming when it comes to sponsors, and we got stuff in the deals and negotiations. So until we get that dotted line, the ink dries, we ain't telling you yet. But just know that there's more on the way. All right, y'all. Whew, we got a lot going on today. But before we get into anything else in terms of what's going on, what's happening today? Kristen, Mona, did you know that today is National Gourmet Coffee Day? Come on, Coffee Day. National Gourmet Coffee Day is celebrated on January 18th every year.
Kwame, be quiet.
What? What happened? What happened? What I say?
You guys are drinking coffee right now. And then you tell me that it's National Coffee Day.
Yes, I'm holding on with you, girl. We stayed at 10 toes down together. Don't worry, I got your back. I'm not gonna drink coffee. I'm not gonna drink coffee this whole month just for you. Okay, I got you, sis. But the moment you are off this fast, the moment you are off this fast, let me know. Okay.
I don't know if I could do a whole fast of no coffee. Coffee saved people's lives. That first sip saved a life.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our lives. We're talking about other people's lives. It definitely saves other people's lives. Praise God. Because I be wanting to cut people. Right now, I'm getting some energy. Let me get this energy drink in here right now. Okay, no coffee, but I need a little pep. A little pep in my step. But
I only allow myself 1 pop a month, so this is my day.
Come on. Oh, I haven't done soda in years, actually. I can't do soda. It's not good for you, child. It's that high fructose corn syrup. It messes up your soul. But anyway, we're going to go in. It's National Coffee Day, and it's celebrated on January 18th every year. While all kinds of coffee are what dreams are made of, gourmet coffee is something exceptional. The quality and consistency of gourmet coffee are distinct from your regular cup of joe, and the secret lies in its beans and creation. So shout out to National Gourmet Coffee Day. Right, coffee. We also want to shout out Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Inc. And it's the first intercollegiate, historically African American sorority. The sorority was they had their Founders Day on the 15th, and so we want to shout out to our sisters. And we have an AKA right here on the chat. Shout out to you, Kristen. Shout out to you. You are,
Thank you.
Doing your little ski-wees and everything, ski-wees and stuff. Yes, ski-wees. Praise God. All right, the sorority was founded on January 15th, 1908 at the historically Black Howard University in Washington, D.C. by a group of 16 students led by Ethel Hedgeman Lyle. Shout out to our sisters over at the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Inc. Excuse me. And there was also another Founders Day. So shout out to Zeta Phi Beta. Yes, my sister-in-law is a Zeta Phi Beta. Yes, honey. The Zeta Phi. Oh, I messed it up. Hold on one second. Zeta Phi. Where is the? I don't think I put the notes in here. There we go. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Inc. is a historically African American sorority founded in 1920. 5 women from Howard University founded all of them, huh? Is it all of them? Come on, Howard. Shout out to Howard University. From Howard University, envisioned a sorority that would raise the consciousness of their people, encourage the highest standards of scholastic achievement, and foster a greater sense of unity among its members. Its founders were Myrtle Tyler, Pearl Anna Neal, Viola Tyler, Fanny Petty, Arizona Cleaver. So shout out to Zeta Phi Beta, my sister-in-law. Shout out to you, boo boo. Love you, Queen. I know that you are a Zeta Phi Beta as well. Part of that, part of the queens over there. So we want to shout out to Alpha Kappa Alpha and Zeta Phi Beta, our sisters over there. Whew. All right, we got a lot to talk about today. Thanks for joining us. Yuppie still happy. Yup, still happy. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, today is the birthday of the day. Whose birthday is it, y'all? Who you think it is? That sexy fine Morris Chestnut. Ooh, praise Jesus. Yeah, look at that man. All that chocolate, y'all. Too much chocolate for the Mortings. Yes. All right, so Morris Chestnut was born on January. Is he? Oh, yes. Okay. January 18th, 1969. Rose to fame in 1991 following his role in the film Boys in the Hood. He has appeared in small feature films and television series, including the starring role of pathologist Dr. Beaumont Rosewood Jr. in the Fox TV series Rosewood. I remember him. Show. Hey, Michelle, how you doing, Queen? Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Hey, Felicia.
I actually haven't seen Rosewood. Is it good, Mona?
Oh my gosh! So I'm like rewatching it on streaming. Absolutely, I love it.
And where can you find that at? Where does it streaming at?
I think it's Hulu. I have a super box, so I see mostly everybody's stuff, but I think it's either Hulu or Netflix. It actually streams all the seasons.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. I gotta add a whole bunch of stuff to my list anyway, so I'll check that out. Appreciate you, Michelle.
Yeah,
appreciate
me too.
You. And Denise, thank you so much for joining. Yes, child, Denise. I know. Morris Chestnut. I remember him from what was that movie? A lot of black rom-coms actually, but is it The Brothers? I think it was The Brothers.
Yes.
Yes, and also oh my God, I just watched it. The Holiday, what's the
Last
Best
Holiday?
Best Man. Yes, Best Man.
The Best Man.
Ooh, Best Man Holiday.
Yes. Oh, Best Man Holiday was. I think it was probably one of the best Christmas shows that I've seen in a while. So shout out to the Best Man writers and people over the Best Man. And happy birthday!
Looking extra fine in that show.
Please just look at him. Just
yes.
Praise God.
And then he just did an interview where there is a woman that said that her son was his, but come to find out it wasn't his son. But she's still saying to this day that was his son. But they've been DNA tests. That's not his child.
Ooh, yeah. Everybody want, but that's because everybody want more Chestnut to be their daddy. I get it. I would too. Anyway, happy birthday to you, Morris Chestnut. I get it. Happy birthday to you. Today is also George Washington Carver's birthday. He was also born on January 18th, 1864, and was an enslaved African American before becoming one of the world's greatest geniuses. Shout out to Black excellence. Okay, he became the first Black person to get into Iowa State University. Hallelujah! Come on. Carver obtained a degree in agriculture and mechanics art and became well known and tagged as the father of the peanut industry. Carver published his popular bulletin titled "How to Grow Peanuts in 105 Ways of Preparing It for Human Consumption" in 1916, and invented over 300 products from peanuts. 300 products from peanuts. Let's help celebrate this great man. So thank you, George Washington Carver, for all of the things that you have done. Yeah, you better have a bell, Queen. Yes. Come on now. All right. Let's see here. Kyrie said Morris does nothing for me. See, you always gotta be a negative Nancy, Kyrie. Ain't nobody tell you you're not even on the show today. You gotta be a negative Nancy. Just rude. Hey, Michelle, my bell. How you doing, Queen?
Hey, Michelle.
Yes. Thank you, Michelle Holly. Black dark chocolate
Michelle.
realness. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Anyway.
Kyrie, I'll take your spot. I'll lick his forehead.
Not lick the forehead.
Not lick the forehead, honey.
Just right here.
So as you guys know, we have been doing Pyro Media Mentionables, and because it's a short week, we just extended last week's Pyro Media Mentionables, and we have new ones coming this upcoming week, so definitely stay tuned. So we want to mention Nicole D. Vick, one of the queens of Pyro Media Network. She has a new website, or newly revamped website. Kyrie said you can have him. Child, go away. You're so rude. Anyway, Nicole has some books that are out that you definitely want to check out, especially if you're trying to have a new year, new me type situation. Her book, Pushing Through, which I have, it is an amazing book. Definitely something that I think will help all women and all Black women specifically. And this gets really dope to have. Also, check out the 52 Weeks of Light in Tough Times, which I also have, especially something that you would want to use if you're trying to have a new year, new me, and guided journal. Okay, praise God. We also want to shout out Renew Church LA. Okay, Renew Church LA is one of our Pyro Media's clients, and Pastor Kurt D. Thomas has a theme for this month. January 2020 is Empowering the Wind. That's right. Last week they just had speakers George Johnson and Benjamin Carlton. Amazing kings. I mean, I'm telling you, like they have. If you have not seen it, watch it on their the replay on their Facebook page. You can go to Renewed Los Angeles. You can check out all of the stuff that's going on, all of their past sermons, and also their past services and stuff like that. It was a phenomenal conversation, and they had a conversation on "We Are Not Broken" Church, and conversation with George M. Johnson and Benjamin Carlton. And this upcoming Sunday, their service is entitled "Finding Me." So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's about. That's going to be. It's been nothing but stellar conversations that and thought-provoking conversations that Pastor Kurt Thomas has been doing this entire month. So shout out to them. All right. Whew, that's a lot, child. Whew, I need to take a breather. And so do we. Hey, Meek, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. And while we're taking a breather, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll see you on the other side. Definitely stay tuned because we have so much to talk about. We got so much to talk about in the news. And I'm definitely interested in hearing what Kristen and Ramona have to say about these crazy pop culture topics. So we'll see you on the other side. by popular demand. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are just tuning in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Kristen will be right back. She just had some technical difficulties, so she'll be hopping right back on in. Mona, how are you doing, Queen? Are you doing okay? You looking good, girl? You glowing.
I cannot complain. Life is good. I just literally, once I leave here, or once this is done, I have water aerobics today.
Come on, water aerobics? Yes.
I do water aerobics. So it helped me to heal my knee. It has really helped to heal my knee. So I do water aerobics like twice a week. Mm-hmm. And I do normally like Wednesday is like a strength training for my knee in water aerobics, and then Thursdays is our aerobics. Mm-hmm. So we're literally dancing in the water. I don't know if you've ever done it. It's the most craziest, tiring, you sweat in the water, yet relaxing thing you could do.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? The craziest, it's exhausting, but it's also relaxing at the same time, which is really, really hilarious to me. Hey, welcome back, Kristen.
Thank you. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, you sound perfect now. It doesn't sound like a delay. So awesome. Yay! Yes. Look at the devil trying to bring us down. You can't hold us down.
Right. Come on. Come on.
All right, Queens, we got a lot to talk about today. So let's get on into what I love to call what's going on. Okay. Brace yourself, okay? All right, y'all. First up, question of the day. Well, one of the questions of the day. Are you prepared? Are you prepared? All right, so Stephanie, forgive me if I mispronouncing. Right, there's a lot. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing her last name, but Stephanie Sabonheg reveals PNB Rock did not have life insurance or a will. Quote, "We don't plan on death." And that is something that I really think that is a conversation that needs to happen. I know one of our clients and host on Pyro Media Network, Thais Jackson, is going to be doing a kind of a live on this next Monday. So definitely check out the official Thais report next Monday on this, because it's going to be, I'm definitely interested in seeing what they have to talk about and how they're going to address this kind of conversation. But it is something that we should be, as a community, need to be talking about a lot more. But PNB Rock did not have life insurance or a will ahead of his murder in September 2022. His girlfriend, Stephanie, who I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name, so forgive me, but who was present during the fatal armed robbery, volunteered the information during a video message to her over 695,000 Instagram followers. Stephanie posted the, quote, vulnerable 15-minute video on January 14th after live streaming it. In it, she emphasizes her struggles since Rock's passing. Stephanie said she had no interest in making the video. However, she stated it's, quote, a season of obedience, a season of vulnerability, and a season of transparency, end quote. Stephanie explained that PNB Rock was the primary breadwinner. The artist allegedly took care of her and her family, despite Stephanie's income from Airbnbs and her business Angel Energy. So Stephanie thanks everyone who has been supportive since Rock's death, from purchasing her products to reposting her prayers. What are your thoughts on this, you guys?
So I have a lot of thoughts. So, I come from a family that has a funeral home. So it's just something that I've known about. And then on my mom's side, I just remember like having an insurance guy come to the house every week to pay on the insurance. Yeah. So it's just something that's always been in my mind, that you have to have insurance. And I feel like we live in a day and age where we put everything on, you get a new pair of shoes, you get a new watch, you get some new Gucci, whatever, you're on the internet. And I'm saying this because when you die, then you have to put on the internet that you need, unfortunately, a GoFundMe to help, send you away and get your burial and everything going. And I just feel like the same amount of money, less than the amount of money that you're spending on all these material things, a policy is like, you can get a policy if you're in good health. These are young people that we're talking about. I know you don't think about dying. Nobody thinks about it until you're dead. Then you're gone. Right. But when you're in good health, you can get a policy for like $15 a month. Like, I just don't understand. In my mind, sometimes I feel like there is such a market in the hood. Just drive through the hood. Oh, you out here doing what you're doing? You got $15? Boom. Let me just get a policy for you, just in case. Yeah. And the bad thing about it is, as a community, we could really come up, because if we start, everybody got insurance, the way the police killing us, the way some of us killing each other, like these insurance companies would start being on the front line trying to protest too, because they have to be paying families out left and right. And the killing would probably go down. in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I'm gonna piggyback off of that right off top for the insurance. The one thing that I think financial literacy will help us in our community to understand that a lot of times, most wealth in other communities comes from life insurance.
Yeah.
So their wealth starts that they may have $100,000 policy on them. What they will do is in turn, literally pass that on. Something happened to them. Their kids get 150. Their children go get policies for their children. They don't spend but a little bit of that money. They go get a policy for 200,000.
Yeah.
And then when their generation comes, so now, and I have a friend that literally went through that when they stopped doing that, and he is of African American community, he had 100,000 by the time he had 300,000 by the time his aunt died. It had passed down 3 times. So that's generational wealth that starts a lot of time with insurance. Secondly, if anybody got a bank, and I'm gonna say for these rappers, you got your money in a bank. My bank by itself, I pay $4.80 or something every 3 months for just accidental death and dismemberment. Yeah. They don't realize that it doesn't cost as much as you think it is. None of us is sitting around like Nipsey. I got $1 million on my flesh, as he said. We can't afford that kind of policy, but if you got at least 50,000, they can bury you, pay your bills, do whatever they need to do. In her situation, most people, none of us thought we were going to be gone at such a young age. But having parents, like Kristen said, having family that preach, literally have a life insurance policy. Ain't nobody trying to have to fry chicken to bury you or fry fish or have fundraisers. And now you got GoFundMe's to be able to bury you. Some people's policy only cover $1,000. So that's an old policy. So I'm going to have to cremate you.
Yeah.
And you see a lot where people are not being buried for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the money.
Yeah, and let's get into these comments real quick. And both of you queens make really extremely valid points. But let's get into these comments real quick. Michelle Holly says, I'm going to have my sister cremate me and place my ashes in a brown paper bag, spread those ashes in a lake, then go to Popeyes for the repast. I know this. Michelle, you're hilarious. So Meek says you should have a trust, maxed out insurance and stocks. Take that $200 plus for Nike and put it in put it on insurance. I know that's right. Michelle Holly says she made a great point referring to Kristen. Meek says correct, Mona. Even slave masters had insurance on slaves and cashed in when they killed our people and when slavery was banned. Now, I know that's, you better talk about history, Meek. And then Rochelle says, great points, ladies. Yes, and you both make really good points. And I think that you have to be intentional when it comes to stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, there's been situations in my life where I've been with people and they passed away and they didn't have life insurance policies, or they didn't follow through on completing the life insurance policies, and I had to kind of either take the brunt of taking care of everything, closing things out because I was with them, or I had to I was kind of left on doing things on my own. And so you have to really be intentional about who you love and who you're with. And it's not just if you have a partner, it's also if you have kids, if you have loved ones that that you really give a damn about. You don't want to place that burden on them to where, because funerals are expensive, and people saw that especially during the pandemic. People were going out left and right. You know what I'm saying? In 2020, and so people don't realize. A lot of people don't realize, especially us, how important it is. But you want to go out there and throw out the Gucci and the Yves Saint Laurent. You know what I'm saying? And all this, all this other stuff. And that's great. You should live comfortably. You should live the way you want to and spend the money that you want. However, if you're not doing stuff to protect yourself and to also protect your family so they don't have a huge burden, all we're doing is keeping each other down. You know what I'm saying? Because finances are huge issues within our community. We're talking about generational wealth and the fact that we're already so far behind on that and trying to pick it up. I see us eventually getting to a point where we're going to have generational wealth, but our focus needs to be on it. And that means intentional decisions, intentional movements, and intentional planning. So yeah. That's all I got on that.
Another thing.
Mhm.
Can I add one more thing to it? I think people
Absolutely.
also they don't realize that some people that don't look us, you can borrow off these policies. If you get a policy big enough and you fall on hard times, you can borrow against your own policy. So
Yes.
like once your child is born, you should just already begin the policy, because that means that once they turn 18, they already have this money that you've been paying for that's right there. And if you need to borrow against it because maybe you don't have $2,000 to pay for college, then you can do that. That's how people are getting ahead in the game that don't look like us.
You are absolutely right.
I think a lot of these younger rappers need to talk to some of these older ones, because just what you said, Kristen Walker said that. Waka Flocka did an interview and talked about he don't pay nobody but himself, that he has a certain amount in a trust and a certain amount in insurance, life insurance, and he literally borrows from his own money. So he said he does not borrow money from banks. He borrows and pays his own self back. But again, that's the financial literacy that we missing.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, y'all, you know, I know you guys are really, you know, out there, you caring about, you know, the Bentleys and the BMWs and all that stuff, whatever. Before you get into all that, you do the extra, make sure you got your situation. I don't care how old you are. You could be 22 or 35. Or 45 or whatever. There's no time like the present to really focus on trying to get your affairs in order. So definitely check that out, and also talk to one of us. Talk to one of our attorneys out there. You know what I'm saying? Our people who are like us, because they understand how to navigate that. So, and I'm not saying that there's, you know, the palm color people are not important, you know, but you know, we understand the significance and understand the importance of life insurance and what's going on, and what Kristen was talking about in regards to pulling life insurance and pulling from that reservoir is really actual factual. I was talking to one of my other clients who had came down with cancer, and she was able to pull because she was paying into it. She was able to pull to because she wasn't able to work because she was doing chemo, and thank God, you know, she is you know, cancer free now, but she was able to pull during that time, during those hard times, from her life insurance. So definitely check that out. Look into all of that stuff, and you know, do what you can. If you go, if it's like Ramona was saying, like sometimes some of these policies are $15 a month. Y'all pay more than that in Starbucks,
and
y'all.
And then, right, you said borrow from the policy, but depending on which company you go to, like let's just say if you go to the hospital and you have to stay 3 days, they will pay you $90 per day because of your hospital stay. Like there are a lot of incentives that people don't even know about or they don't use. If you get laid off, there are even clauses in the insurance policy. If you get laid off, you can't pay or you need to do something. So I think it's definitely worth looking into.
People laugh about the Aflac duck because we like the commercial, but like for real, Aflac is only like $15-$20 per month. And you can add that with your job. If your job doesn't offer it, they will still allow you to pay in, and they go through, you know, their channels. And it's even good for the factor that they have a cancer policy, that if you get cancer, they have a certain amount of money that they give you per month. Those things that we don't know that's gonna happen until they happen.
Yeah. And we still don't know where cancer comes from. So why I'm the type of person that, you know, I believe in the 5 Ps. I practice this and I teach this to a lot of my KC3 clients a lot. But I believe in the 5 Ps. Prior planning prevents potential problems. And for me, if you plan, y'all know, for those who follow me on Kwame Speaks, y'all know I'm a huge planner. I have a bunch of planners. You may see it in the background, all that stuff with it. I'm a planning fool. You better go ahead with your planner, Kristen. I know that's right. But I'm a planning fool, and I have all types of systems. So for me, it's all about planning ahead and making sure that you have listen. Murphy's Law is always in effect. You never know. What can go wrong will go wrong, right? And so why not just have precautions and preventative measures in place to be able to protect you from possible whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's here nor there. We're not going to do a whole, you know, sermon and conversation on it, but it's just something for y'all to think about. All right, y'all. Moving on to the next subject. Oh, Lord. He needs some milk. Whew. Michael B. Jordan allegedly rumored to be dating 26-year-old British bikini model Amber Jepsen. I don't know who the hell she is. Bless you. Exes Michael B. Jordan and Laura Harvey may still have one thing in common, and that's they're both not wasting time in moving forward in their romantic lives. Praise God. According to The Sun, the 35-year-old has reportedly been spending more time in the UK, and he has. Have you not seen Harry and Meghan, Michael? What are you doing? Anyway, and he has grown enamored with 26-year-old bikini model Amber Jepsen. 26, and he's 35. Go ahead and get it, girl. Do your thing. According to friends of the actor, Jordan and Jepsen have, quote, enjoyed multiple chats with one another. The outlet also reports that Jordan has replied to some of Jepsen's social media posts shared in the last week. According to The Sun, Jepsen allegedly shared a screenshot of Jordan liking an Instagram story of hers, in which he wrote, quote, wifed off now, end quote. Jepsen's friends have reportedly detailed that the 26-year-old model is curious to, quote, see where the relationship can go. Thoughts? Okay, there it is. Y'all said nothing.
I've never been a fan of him.
I'm gonna try to keep this as nice as possible. The fetishization, I guess I should say, of our men, just flashes all over this for me.
Yep, sure does.
Because where you come from.
But you know, love has no color.
Well, I mean, you can say that, but also. I think we all know that was his preference firsthand. So my whole thing is,
go ahead, Kristen.
Be who you are. Be who you are. If that's what you like to date, if that's your preferred, race or type of woman, go for it. Be who you are.
If he finds happiness in that, I am not a believer. You didn't heard me say before, if I come up and my name is Ramona Wong, y'all don't question it. Because I found happiness in Mr. Wong. So if he finds happiness, I'm all for that. But, bag lady is ringing in my head. For both of them, that when you move on like that, they rebounds a lot of times.
What say ye comments? What does the audience say today? Meek says, what? MBJ? I think Lori heard him 100%. She may just be his rebound. Rochelle says, child. Kyrie said, I said Lori would push him back to white. Bye, Kyrie. Michelle says, you all are so bad. Let that brother have the white turkey breast. Michelle, you gonna have your white turkey breast? Okay, Meek says love has no color, but she gonna understand the struggle of a black man, or she's not gonna understand the struggle of a black man. But to each their own. Listen, that's what I said about Kanye and Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry, Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? Reek D says, I agree. Love is love. We are all human. That's cute. Meek says, Kyrie, listen. I'm not saying that. I cannot tell you who you can and cannot love. I don't think this is love, but that's my personal opinion. I can't tell you what that is. You know what I'm saying? But go off. Y'all young. Be cute in the streets. I mean, would you not take Michael B. Jordan if he came up to you and said he wanted to give you a little sugar?
Look here, I'm a little older.
I wouldn't. I'm not attracted to him.
I think
I'm not attracted to him. His mouth.
See, I go back to children's. What was it? All my children. I was. I've been a fan since back then. And if he finds love in that, absolutely, I am so for it. but I know that they fetishize over our men. And it's not like you were somebody that was in his space. You all the way over on the other side of the pond. So he could have found one on this side of the pond. If that's the case, you slid right in the DM. Hey, I see you're single. And that's where that comes from. But if he finds love in there, absolutely go for it, because love is hard to find today.
Rick D says he's not my type, but on the right day. I know that's right, Rick D. Michelle Holly says you all are mean muggins. Like, hey, I don't want it to sloppy second. Meek says, girl, MG Bay could Wakanda forever be all day. I know that's right. St. James. Good morning, St. James. What's going on? How you doing, brother? All right, moving on. So, but it's art. All right, y'all. So it's been a lot of stuff going on. Martin Luther King Jr.'s son praises, quote, embrace statue amid mixed reactions on the internet. Quote, opinions are like butts. Everyone's got one, he says. So a Martin Luther King Jr. statue was unveiled just days before the annual holiday commemorating the civil rights activists. Since then, the tribute sculpture has sparked online debates about its appearance and representation. Titled The Embrace, the artwork highlights a hug MLK and his wife Coretta Scott King shared in 1964. Martin and Coretta embraced after learning he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. What are your thoughts on this?
I thought it was somebody eating cat.
Okay, all right. You know, I'm leaving. And
he left for real.
I can't.
I am being honest. That's the first thing I saw at first.
Right. I had no clue.
I didn't know what it was.
Right.
I didn't know what it was.
It just wasn't a good sculpture.
No, it's and listen, and this is the one that I saw first. So I'm like, oh, is she holding up bread? And that's what I thought it was. And then I saw this, and I was
it looked like somebody holding up a body.
It's just really strange. And now listen, I'm not trying. I don't think that this should be viral. But it's very interesting. Why can't we just have like a statue of Martin Luther King? You know what I'm saying? Like, we could just have a statue.
He paid 10 bands for that.
10 million it was. Like
million?
10 million. It was 10 bands for that. Dollars. He owed them 9.5 bands back.
10
because
million.
It's weird. The son approved it. That's what's even worse. He need to be hit in the throat. Again, my first angle of it looked like somebody was eating cat, and I said, "Is this outside?" And then, I had to come back and had to go look at other. I'm like,
it's very strange. It's very strange. Oh no! So let's check out what y'all say. What say ye? St. James says it just wasn't good. Rochelle says I didn't know what I was looking at. Same, Rochelle. At first, I was like, "What is this?" Denise says, Denise, thank you for joining. It says, poor taste to me. I agree. Michelle Holly says, this is weird. It looks like a butt in the air. It does. I don't know. I'm not that into it. But you know what? You do you. I'm not going to.
And since my mind is bad, I was like, is somebody eating cat? Did they make this into it? I did.
Weird. It was weird.
It's weird. It's weird.
Meek says, nope, it's just ugly. Why not just do a full statue of the both of them? That's what I said. Just whatever. Everybody always trying to be so.
And the internet gonna always win. So they got a picture of Tyrese from Baby Boy when he was holding his neck, and when they put them together, it do look like.
Oh my God. So, all right, yo. Sir, really, sir. So this one is Chesley Chris. Is it Chesley Kyrie? Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Queen. But speaks out after Antonio Brown allegedly shared a sexually explicit post on Snapchat. Quote: I do not condone these actions related to Antonio Brown ordered to pay $1.2 million after failing to appear in court for an assault case. You know, Antonio Brown's just going through a lot, child. He's just going through a lot. You know, it's just. Go ahead, Kristen. You good? Go ahead. It's just a lot going on. So, in an Instagram post, Kyrus released a statement saying, quote, "I have reported his page and all pictures. Unfortunately, Snapchat is allowing him to repost. I am very sorry for any of your kids that followed him and used to look at him as a role model," end quote. She added, quote, "I do not condone these actions. As you are aware, I have kids involved as well." As of right now, it is unclear when that picture was taken, as Antonio Brown has not released a statement regarding this latest situation, but there was an update. TMZ reported a spokesman has responded to TMZ and shared that Antonio Brown's account has been suspended and the incident is currently under investigation. The platform mentioned its strict community guidelines that, quote, "prohibit sexually explicit content and bullying or harassment of any kind." Thoughts?
He just had this situation go on with a bunch of stuff with him and Keisha Cole earlier last year. This again, we want to fetishize about them.
Yeah.
This goes back to what I said about it's a fetish, and then when you get them and they do this same stuff, then it's like, oh, well, I didn't think he would do it to me. No, he did it to us too. Again, if you find love in these people, right, I don't care. I had no problem with interracial relationships. I come from a couple generations back. One, I wouldn't be here if a slave owner's daughter and a slave didn't, However, today, this fetish for them, and a lot of times they will think, oh, well, we taking your men. Having. Nobody want to be bothered anyway.
What are your thoughts, Kristen?
I think. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I think Antonio Brown is like the prime example of one of those kids that you just pass along throughout school. I feel like somebody dropped the ball and he never got the help that he needed because he is mentally disturbed in some way. At this point, he's very good at his job, this heightened awareness of people around him that knows that he's good at his job. So they just turn the other eye and they don't hold him accountable. But somewhere down the line, like he needed IEP. So yeah.
Not an IEP child.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like you said, it's people around him. I always, when I see these younger these sports entertainers, basketball, football, whatever, and they're doing the things that they're doing, it makes me think of Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was a beast on the court, but when he did not have the NBA no more, he showed up in wedding dresses.
Well, child.
And the people around him knew how Dennis was. So it's like basketball, that was the only thing that was saving him because he was so good on the court. But that mental state has to be addressed because now, today, Dennis Rodman was just on the Surreal, My Surreal Life or Surreal World or whatever that show is called. And you see all the mental dysfunction that he still somewhat has, but he's very intelligent.
Yeah.
But you see that this is the same thing with this man. You can play the game, but they need to address your mental state.
There it is. Now let's see what the comments say.
He needs some medicine.
He needs some medicine. Meek says, wait, I'm seeing trends with all these black men. That part, Meek. That part right there. That's a phenomenal comment. Like that's the comment of the day. Okay. St. James says, did y'all see her choking on that? You know what, St. James? I'm not. Rick D says, let me open up Twitter real quick. It's baby. Meek also says, oh my God, he ain't learned with Kanye, all the Kardashians. Y'all need to get with people of the same mindset. I agree. St. James says yes, an IEP. Rochelle says she thought that her white privilege would make her exempt to his foolishness. Not. He needs to go sit on Iyanla's couch. I think he needs a little bit more than Iyanla personally, but that's just me. St. James, Robin is way weird. I agree. And you know, like, I think you hit the nail on the head, Mona. Like, I really think that, like, a lot of, and Kyrie and I have been talking about this, like, not only on our TikTok, but also on previous Pyro Power Hour episodes, that Black men really need to make an intentional decision on getting mental health services, therapy. Like, that's the only way that we're really going to truly attain next level type situations in our lives and holistic type situations in our lives. I really think it's imperative that mental health services or getting therapy and seeking therapy, and not just for Black men, but also just the Black community as a whole. But I see more Black women just really making that an intentional thing and making it trendy. But I really think that Black men are still fighting this whole, like, I don't need that, you know, because they're getting that from previous generations, and you know, fathers and fathers are telling them, you know, we don't need that. We keep our business on the inside, keep our business. What stays in the house, what happens in the house stays in the house, and that's such a horrible thing to say, and yes, really you know, kind of policy to kind of focus on. It's not helpful. It's detrimental to you as a person. It's detrimental to the family of the Black family. It's detrimental to the Black community as a whole. So that's not my personal opinion.
I think a lot of times, and I'm gonna say this for our community, I think a lot of times they don't understand accountability versus responsibility.
Oh, say that again.
I don't. I think that we need to understand accountability versus responsibility, because with accountability means now you got to be responsible for healing whatever you know going on and what you got going on. So in order to be responsible, you got to be accountable. In order to be accountable, you got to be responsible. So we don't want to do either or.
Come on, Ramona. Yes.
So a lot of times with that, I think that our community does. Like this young man, he can play sports, like Kristen said, he can be good at what he does, but nobody around him is checking his mental state. See, that's the accountability piece that they don't want to give him. But y'all are responsible for him, and y'all know that he needs to be accountable. So it actually makes them just as accountable in that situation, because when you're accountable, you're responsible for what you see. Y'all not even being held accountable in any accountability for it. It reminds me of R. Kelly. Everybody around him knew what was going on, but nobody wanted to say nothing.
Well, yes. Say it again.
And then also, we've already seen outbursts from this man. So what would make you want to be with somebody that's already done all these things, and you know they haven't taken any steps to get any type of help? Again, she thought that she was the one, found out that she wasn't. You know what I mean? So what you do after that? I hope she gone about her business.
And I think that I am not against interracial marriages whatsoever. I'm not against the multicultural race marriages and relationships, but stop fetishizing our men, thinking that Black women are complainers. All we do is nag. All we do is bring them down. When in actuality, what we will do is build them up. We fall to the wayside in the process. Now we beneath him. So now he thinking he get ready to win, getting you. And then what ends up happening, a lot of them end up in situations like the young man that got killed over the summer by the OnlyFans, Instagram, whatever she was model, and she didn't get charged for months. You fetishized over this man, but your privilege made you think that you would get away with it because you killed him and the next day was at a bar.
Well, that's a word.
And now y'all finally done charged this girl, and his family is like, oh, we as a community need to stand together. May he rest in peace. I'm sorry for your loss, but boy, fuck you. He ain't like us. Excuse my language, y'all.
It's all good. All right, y'all. Let's get to the next topic, because I don't want to spend too much time on this one. This is crazy. It's a lot to unpack on that one. But this one has really hit me hard. I've been noticing it in the past a couple of months, actually the past couple of years, but I've really seen an increase in the past year in 2022. And so I really need all of my queens to really be careful. Women in general to really, really be careful. So a barista working the drive-through at a coffee shop in Washington State was almost yanked through the opening by a would-be kidnapper who seemed ready to tie her up. The horrific incident occurred early Monday morning around 5 a.m. when this longtime worker said she was by herself in Auburn, Washington, during which a man in a pickup truck ordered something to go and cruised up to pay to get his Java, all of which was on camera. Whew, child. Let's just go ahead and watch it. So as you can see, he tried to grab her. I'm gonna go ahead and re-show it real quick so you guys can see.
Oh wow, he had the rope.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is that he had in his hand?
So it looks like some type of situation to kind of tie her up. Yeah, it was a rope, and it looked like a situation where he was trying to tie her up to grab her.
Like a zip tie, maybe.
Yeah, it was but
okay.
These situations are happening all over the place, and so what I did is I went ahead and looked up statistics. This one was in Philadelphia, where they actually yanked up a woman. It's a picture of a woman, and so I've been noticing reports and things, and these are things that are just reported. There's so many things that are happening where people are not that, especially when it comes to Black women getting snatched up, that are not being reported. You're seeing tissues in car doors, and they actually have some type of poison or a kind of tranquilizer where you'll get kind of sick if you touch it or try to take it off of your door. There's zip ties that are being tied to doors to mark and notate that this is somebody that's of target, that is a target to be picked up, and it notifies all the other human traffickers to let them know that, oh, we need to catch this person up. There are people being followed, so there are people being thrown. There are people that are on the road that throw stuff on the window, and when you try to wipe it with your windshield, and it makes it worse, and then you are forced to pull over. When at that point, when you get out of your car, they snatch you up. There are people who are jogging, minding their business, and there's a car, and there's somebody jogging behind you, and then they try to snatch you. There's so many things that are going on, but these are the statistics from 2021, actually. And I'm going to enlarge it so you guys can see it. But these are the most recent statistics that are going on when it comes to women, and this is from the FBI. Okay, women and men. Males are obviously the lighter blue, and females are the more navy blue. Look how people who are under 21. Look how large that situation is right here. It's like that is a huge uptick, and this is just 2021. 2022 statistics are way more. So I really need you guys to just be careful, be safe out there, and really take really understand and know your surroundings, and just be careful. It's just getting crazier and crazier out there. Thoughts, ladies? I think you're muted, Mona.
There we go. I have my mic off. If we have, in this, my thought, if we have anybody trans in here, this is nothing against the trans community whatsoever. But I've heard a lot over the last 2 years of this uterine transplant. Mm-hmm. So the trans can have children. Mm-hmm. And my first thought was, where are you getting the uteruses from? Mm. And we have a lot of women that are missing that are never reported. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And especially I just seen a statistic in the Detroit area, just in the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's never shown up on their news, but 10 children have been missing. Mostly girls. So
I just want to make sure that we don't offend our trans brothers and sisters, but a lot of those procedures are happening within their body. So, for example, and I'm not a doctor or an MD, so I can't really go into detail on it, and I don't want to. But basically, what's happening is that they're changing and moving stuff inside of them and adding stuff to it. They're not really getting a uterus and bringing it into someone else. At least that's to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, but I definitely want to do more research on it to make sure that we are reporting that properly. But yeah, I think to add to your point, what I'm noticing and what in my research that I'm seeing, not just with trans brothers and sisters, but what I'm noticing is that it's a situation where it's not just uteruses that are being harvested. It's all types of organs, livers, hearts, all types of organs that they're grabbing. And not only that, what I'm noticing is a uptick in sex trafficking, specifically for young Black women. And young Black girls. There's and even young Black boys, young boys. Period. There's an uptick in human trafficking when it comes to sex trafficking and getting them out the country and trafficking them around. There are people who pay millions of dollars to kind of have these traffic rings and going on. And so it's just crazy. And I just really want you guys to be careful because people get snatched up. There's so many people in this world and we're having a decrease in law enforcement, which, you know, some people may say, oh, that's a good thing. But at the same time, that means crime is going to increase, right? And so there's less people, less eyes on the streets keeping these people away, and they are good. They're good at what they do. They know how to snatch you up. They know how to make sure that if you're not paying attention and you're just kind of strolling and going about your life, just stay in well-populated. And even in well-populated areas, there's people get snatched up in the airport on camera.
And you know, and again, that's why I said I didn't want anybody in the trans community. When I stayed in the Philippines for a month, I had a discussion with someone, and they do certain procedures over there that women sign up for.
Allegedly.
And it's so weird, crazy, and everything. But then also anybody that got sons, I have told everybody that I know that got a son, teach your son that if a woman walks up to you and just starts talking to you out of nowhere, go with the conversation. Because I've seen women literally go up and just start talking to men, but then to find out they were being followed.
Yeah.
But some men don't know that or understand how many women are being taken. So they're just like, who is she? Like, I don't know. But if you see a woman and she comes up to you and just starts having conversation out of nowhere, more than likely she's being followed.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I actually had a friend of mine a couple of years ago just so happened to tell me that because a woman walked up on him and he told me the whole situation and she was being followed.
My God.
And she walked up on his car. And so then I started seeing videos after me and him talked about it of people random women walking up and just start talking to men. A lot of times they're being followed, and with the sex trafficking, the way it is going today,
yeah.
If they walk up and they just out of nowhere, just conversate with them, walk with them. I know one guy ended up like fighting or getting into it. A video I seen with the guy that was following her, but she was a young girl. She was like only 16, but she just walked up and acted like it was her brother.
Yeah. Meek says lots of Black women at high rates than other races per USA Statistica. Yes, that's where I actually got that graph from. Sorry to talk about race, but the numbers show all women be safe, but media needs to put us up on TV just like our counterpart. I absolutely agree with you, Meek.
Yes.
And you don't need to apologize for talking about race because that's a big deal. Because they talk a lot when there's a whole. I felt like I think it was 2021. I think it was 2021 or maybe it was 2019. But there seemed to be a summer of Black girls going missing and nobody was talking about it. There was nobody, and I'm talking about an astronomical amount of Black girls, not women, not people over 21. Black little girls going missing, and nobody was talking about it. Nobody followed up on it. Nobody was bringing in national news, and it was an astronomical amount of reports saying, "Hey, nobody's finding my daughter. I don't know my daughter or my niece or this person. These girls just went missing, and still to this day, nobody's talked about them or what's happening. But let little Susie or Sally Mae go ahead and have a missing situation. We shutting down the borders. We got it's national news. It's all over everything. But let one of my sisters go missing. It's all quiet. It's just another negress.
And even in these people,
she ran away.
Hello.
If you live in certain areas, some of these abandoned houses, because in Ohio, in Cleveland, there's a guy that I actually went to college with, and he ended up, a girl was able to get loose. They had been in this house for months, and she was able to get loose. The other ones were in the house, but he was able to get the police to get them out. They had been there for months. So the trafficking is right next door to you. If it's an abandoned house, but you see somebody maybe every once in a while going in and out. I got a dude right now that I went to school with, grew up with, who was in jail because he had girls in a house in Cincinnati, and he was trafficking these chicks. To meet him, you would never know.
Yeah.
But he had like 14 girls in his house.
My God. Rochelle says traffickers are very organized. My friend almost got taken because they boxed her at a parking lot. She had to pull out her piece for them to back off. My God.
They just showed that lady that this was at the gas station pumping gas, and these 3 guys pulled up on her. She squirted them all with gas.
Jesus.
She was literally, when they both jumped out, she immediately took it out, and she squirted gas in the van. So the van had to pull off.
All right, y'all, let's take a quick commercial break. We got a lot more to talk about, so stay tuned, and we'll be here. But listen, y'all, seriously, please be safe and watch your surroundings, especially my good queens. We appreciate you. Watch our princesses as well, because they out there, they vulnerable. They just as vulnerable, if not more vulnerable than you are. So let's go ahead and make sure that we're protecting our queens and our princesses out here and stay safe and keep our eyes open, okay? All right, y'all, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the other side. StreamYard is on today, but you fix it, Jesus. Fix it. I don't know what's going on. You got the short commercials and stuff. I don't know what's going on. Kristen says, no, you're good. You're good, Kristen. You're good. I don't know what's going on, but bear with us this morning. I don't know what's happening, but we're gonna keep it through. All right, y'all. So y'all know what time it is. Y'all know it's time to talk about what's on the screen. Now, listen. This may be an oldie, but it's a goodie. I was recently watching some documentaries online. I recently watched this documentary called I think it's the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker. Okay, and so I talked to Thais about this. Shout out to the official Thais report. Go over and make sure you subscribe. I talked to Thais about that. He said to go ahead and look up this show called "Don't Pick Up the Phone." Now I'm only on episode 3, and let me tell you something. These white people are crazy.
Oh,
okay. These white people are crazy. I have not seen such shenanigans in my black life. Okay, like this is crazy. Okay, oh my God. Okay, so this show follows the horrifying story of a hoax caller who targeted restaurants across the United States of America, posing as a police officer investigating a theft. The caller instructed managers to strip search young female employees who he said were suspects. So you mean to tell me that manager Margaret, pulled me aside and pulled me into the back room after I'm over here flipping burgers and taking crap from these damn customers, and you gonna strip search me? All my breasts is out. Crazy, insane. This show
this
is
crazy. On the show?
This is a whole show. It's a whole series. It's all crazy, Kristen. Kyrie says, this is my show. It shows you how stupid people really are. Like, it was ism. Like, I really was like, y'all really fell for this crap?
So, I ain't never seen this show. I ain't never even heard of it. You know why? Like they so to make sure they're strip searching.
They strip searched. Listen, episode 1. I don't even want to tell. Actually, I'm going to tell you. This might pique your interest. One of the cases, right? One of the restaurants, okay, had this girl come in. The person who was having the prank, it told them to strip search the girl. Okay, the girl was strip searched, right? She had to take off all her clothes. She had to do jumping jacks. Okay, she had to bend, do all these different types of things right there. And the guy's on the phone with the manager. Then they had somebody come in and he said, "You have to give him fellatio." The girl gave him fellatio. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So if you don't do this fellatio, you're gonna get fired. My God, on today, I said, "Well, then fire me, girl." That's what's gonna be.
Is these people like, slightly slow? Like I don't understand.
I don't
like
know.
Where did the common sense kick in?
Maybe I'm asking.
I don't know how to answer the question. Kristen, don't laugh at me. I'm trying to figure out how I can ask it and be nice. Did they? I don't understand.
It's crazy. This show is, and listen, I'm only on episode 3, and apparently, from what I've been told on TikTok, and I've been talking to people on TikTok about it, they told me that it gets even worse. My God, on today. Whew. Help us, Jesus.
Oh, boy.
So definitely go ahead and check it out. It's called Don't Pick Up the Phone. It's on Netflix. It's a series. Lord, Meek says, "Lord, make you want to be separate but equal." What the common sense? Clearly not common sense. I know that's right. All right, y'all. So today's topic, today's discussion that I want to have real quick is: are you prepared for that time? And we talked a lot about it earlier in one of our stories for what's going on. But I think it's really important to really start thinking about your death. Like, we all talk about, we want to live and live life or whatever, but are you preparing for generational wealth? Are you preparing for your legacy? Are you preparing for all of those things? And so what are you doing, or what have you done, and what kind of things that you think that people should know about to kind of prepare for that time? Go ahead, Kristen. We'll start with you.
Should be right on the spot. I don't know how much preparing I'm doing. Like, I do have insurance and all of those things, but I don't have a will. I will say my younger cousin, she has probably prepared everything. I don't know if she has her search prepared. She has a will. She has everything. I know that is something on my long list of accomplishments for 2023 to prepare for that. I don't have any kids. I don't know if I'm going to have any kids. So when I think about leaving generational wealth to my child, I don't have one, and I plan on spending what I have, but making sure that my business is taken care of before I leave, if I can do that. So I'm not sure, but that is something that I'm thinking about. One of my sorority sisters, her and her friends, they read this book, and if I can find the book, then I'll let you know, Kwame. You can drop it in the chat. But the book it's basically a book to guide you through all the steps that you need to do for planning your final expenses. So,
wow, I definitely would love to hear about that. Yeah, for sure. Definitely send that link when you get a chance, Kristen. That'd be dope. Ramona, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay.
So, I don't have any children. Mm-hmm. So for me, everything is already planned out as to who, if anything happens to me today, who gets what. Like, both my parents, if they are not here, my oldest brother, my oldest niece, and the older people can work out how they want to distribute. So anything that I have will go back into my family. I'm more sort of paying back into the household, since I don't have children. Again, one of the things that I am big on is insurance. So, like, even though I'm now currently 100% entrepreneur, I even have insurance. I even have my life insurance, my death and dismemberment that is based on, and they only take it out quarterly, and they only take out $5. Like, that's how really cheap it can be. It's $5. It covers $150,000 on me.
Yeah.
So my family won't have to worry. I don't have a living will, but because next of kin will either be my parents, my brother, my sister, it can go down between them. But most of my insurance policies has my parents or my brother or my oldest niece.
Yeah.
So I got every generation between my parents, my brother, and then my oldest niece. I covered all three of my generations. So technically, I got it where everybody will have something.
Yeah.
In case.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, like, and I think it's important to kind of like, we all want to, live forever, right? We all want to have the situation where we live long, prosperous lives, but at the end of the day, we don't know, and we have added concerns, when it comes to being Black, you know what I'm saying, in this world. So it's just, you never know when it's going to happen, and natural disasters can happen. Kwame could come and just hit this damn room right now, and I'm just gone. Show's over. You know what I'm saying? So
I had two situations that I could have died. June 3rd of 2021, I had blood clots in my lungs, which is how crazy. My son was fighting for me in heaven because that's his birthday. But I had blood clots in my lung, and they had to pick me up from an ambulance in my driveway.
Jesus.
I could have died. At 20 years old, 3 days before my 21st birthday, I got my first set of blood clots in my left lung that went through my heart, and I could have died. Both of those situations, and I was 20 then and 51 with this last one. So anything can happen. You just can't say, well, I'm a plan for it when I get older. I was 20 and I could have been gone. We wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. But when you young, you YOLO, you only live once.
Yeah.
But in that YOLO, hey, I only live once. Maybe I need to prepare for these things. And now that, they have it where you can literally write out your own obituary and plan your entire funeral, down to if it's some people that you don't like, that you don't want at your funeral, they can be put on that list when you plan it, and they were not allowed to be in the building. They will remove them.
Yeah. Yeah, Meek says, Kwame, people don't want to hear, or people don't want to have financial conversations. And she also says, will should be done immediately unless you want the government to decide kids, money, etc. Trust funds set for the kids, move land to kids right before retirement, helps you later. I know that's right. But yeah, so I think, just talking to somebody, who understands trust and all that stuff, but having something in place really is important. And I think that's going to kind of shift the conversation and shift the momentum of our community as a whole. So, I definitely think that it's an important conversation to have. Nobody really wants to talk about death. Nobody really wants to talk about those things, but it's definitely conversations that you need to have. It's sad, but it needs to happen, and sooner rather than later. So
and the older you get.
Yeah.
Now I had elderly parents. My mother's 78, my father's 77. It took me 3 years just for them to get to write out the will. And that took for me to go home, get a piece of paper. What do y'all want this? And I have it, but then my mother got the stroke. She had the stroke right before she was supposed to see the lawyer. So we haven't even finalized it, but it took just that long for me to get them to write down what. It's a hard conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have it with my elderly parents, but I had to have it. We got a whole house that they live in that's paid off. We got 2 cars paid off. They got money in the bank because, they old school, so they save. Some of our old school parents and people got 3 figures. They got 6 figures sitting in the bank.
Yeah.
Most of us barely got 5 or 4.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a conversation to have, and I hope you guys are thinking about it and really talking to someone. And like Ramona said, and even Kristen said earlier, it doesn't have to be something that breaks the bank. Just some type of policy that helps cover at least the funeral expenses really helps people in the long run, especially your family, because you don't really want to put that burden on them. And so think about that, because you never know when your time's up and when God needs to call you home. So. All right, y'all. Not to end on a bummer, but go ahead and let us know, Kristen and Ramona. We'll start out with you, Kristen, where we can find you, because you are the co-host of You Better Than Me podcast. But also let them know what you do on the side and where people can find you, girl.
Sure, guys. I am half of the You Better Than Me podcast, which is here on Pyro Media Network. So you can definitely look us up there. We do have an Instagram page. You Better Than Me, the podcast You Better Than Me. And then for myself, you can find me at Why Not on Instagram, on TikTok. And then I also am a big Aldi shopper. So I have an Aldi page as well, which is Aldi During Time on Instagram as well. So you can find me at those locations.
Yes, and you cut out a little bit on the end, so I just want to make sure that people can hear or heard where you can be found on Instagram and TikTok, and it's at Why Not Kristen, and Kristen with an I. All right, so thank you so much, Kristen, for joining us. I appreciate you. Ramona, where can they find you, girl?
So as you can see, RamonaAtkins.net, that has everything. That has my YouTube, that has my TikTok, that has my Instagram, that has my Facebook. But if Instagram, I am Ramona Atkins. I_am Ramona Atkins. Facebook, I'm under Net Atkins. But most of the time I tell people for Facebook, follow my business page, Succulent Eyes with a Z. Because I do have my glasses business as well. But if you don't want to go all them different places, go to RamonaAtkins.net and you can find each and every piece of me right there.
All right. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining. I appreciate you guys. And my brother Kyrie will be back with us on this Friday to kind of discuss more hot topics and things that are going on in this crazy behind world. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram or follow Pyro Media Network on Instagram, so where they can go ahead and show you all of the breaking news that's going on in pop culture and anything that's going on with this dang on country. And you can go ahead and follow and make sure you're following and subscribing to YouTube. And we want to shout out to Twitch. Shout out to you guys on Twitch. We've been seeing you guys increasing the followership there, so we appreciate you listening and watching and supporting. All right, y'all. It's been fun. It's been real. We will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for joining. We love you. See you on the next one, y'all. Bye.